So you know the story of the old lady that got into a car. She says, I used to drive all the time, but these newfangled things, like, it's ridiculous. I put the car into reverse, and a movie comes on. And such a violent movie, people running in all different directions and garbage cans flying. The Yetzer Hara wants us to look back and say you blew it. You tried to be good and you blew it. You were slapped in the face. Give in. So I had a friend of mine. I remember in yeshiva days. And he said, I'm not going home. I'm not going home for Yom Tov because if I go home, I'm going to have certain nisyonos. And he stayed in the dorm. And his family gave him a hard time. And he said, I'm staying in the dorm. And he came to me, Chalamayid, and he was so broken. And he said, you think in the dorm I was okay? I blew it in the dorm. So I have my family angry at me, and I blew it. Ben Adam l'chaveirei, ben Adam l'malkaim. So he went to a Maggid Shir, and he told us a story. Moshe Soloveitchik was the great Rav in Switzerland, was once a roommate of Reb Chaim Kanievsky. And Moshe was sent out to go to the different moshavim around Lamja and asked them to send their kids to yeshiva. It was very matzliach. And one morning he came home at 4 a.m. And Reb Chaim was still up, Reb Chaim Kanievsky was still up. They were both Bachrim, and he sat down to learn the daf. He says, doesn't go to sleep without learning the daf. And he kept falling asleep, saying a line, falling asleep, saying a line, falling asleep. I can relate with that. And the next morning, Reb Chaim said to him, did you understand one word you learned? He said, no. So why did you do it? He said, because that commitment is going to give me hundreds and hundreds of dafim that I am going to understand. You tried to do the right thing and you failed, but it's going to give you a path from here on in. So here I am in yeshiva, and a friend of mine calls me and says, listen, I want to boost. What do you think I should be makabel upon myself? I said, you know what? I decided that I'm taking the radio out of my car. I came to my mechanic. I said, Pete, take the radio out. He said, why? It's the only thing that works in your car. I said, do me a favor, take it out. So he took out the horn by mistake. He took out the lights, the blinkers. Finally, we got the radio out. And I said, I felt it was a good thing for me to do. He said, fine, I'm going to make up I'm not listening to the radio. And then he calls me the next day and says, first day I'm not listening to the radio, I get pulled over for a ticket, no seatbelt. What do I learn from this? I said, don't ask me advice. Then he calls me a while later and says, how would you like to come to Chicago? I said, what for? He says, come, I'll tell you afterwards. And I get there and it's a Sudas Haida. And he tells everyone the story. He tells them the first part of the story about how my advice works. And then he tells them that right after he put on his seatbelt, there was a tractor trailer coming by that's fishtailed. He went flying over the embankment, turned over 5 times, came out without a scratch. His tooth was bleeding. And the state police said to him, one thing is for certain, if you didn't have your seatbelts on, you would have never survived. And he gave me an opportunity to speak, and I said, you know why you survived? You survived because here you took upon yourself a Kabbalah, and you got slapped in the face! And you say, you know what, Rabbi Shalom? I'm still sticking to the Kabbalah. And that's what saved you. You should know, we try to do things for Shmiras Einayim. It doesn't mean everything will be hunky-dory. It means that Rabbi Shalom says, let me test your resolve, says the Baal Tanya. You will always be tested. And if you ride through the test, here comes the big bracha.